So hello everyone, Mimondon here and welcome to my review of Little Chariot Be episode 23. A really good episode. I mean, it's a really good episode, but it's coming off from this like ridiculous 11 out of 10 episode, right? And I think that usually you can qualify how good something is by based on what it's trying to be. So if it's a comedy anime, okay, this is good, like you also here, this is no necessary thing, and they had to development, and they did blah blah. It's 10 out of 10, right? And last week was really funny and really sad, and then I was like, oh my god, it's wasted everything. So it's breathtakingly good. Like that was better than good. So this week it's a little harder to kind of do the same thing again, right? That is hard because you're building up that kind of the twist with Chariot. So this week instead they went for explaining what Chariot did, and I kind of liked it. I actually really liked it, to be honest. This episode is like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 again because I really liked it actually. Because first of all, we do see that Croix, of course, bitch Croix, is behind Chariot using this, this absorbing emotion thing. Of course, Croix is the one's like, well, maybe you could use this friend. That's gonna be great. It's like, wait, and then, and afterwards, she used to get like, hey, people are happy again. And of course, like, well, you took their souls. It's like one of those classic things. It's like, this is good for you. It's like, yeah, I tricked you to kill everyone. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so Croix is the one behind it. Primarily, it's obviously Croix is really evil, or like, she's definitely evil and, quite sinister. I actually feel that makes Croix a lot more evil, actually. Like, I expect Croix to be kind of not redeemed, but she has actually trying to save Chariot in the episode earlier and so on. So she has some kind of, twisted love for Chariot. Yeah, they see obviously the episode as well. But that, she is actually blatantly, not just behind the whole idea of, actually, yeah, like if Croix is behind the idea, telling Chariot, okay, we can use this thing, and that we're gonna make it more popular, and Chariot would be like, okay, let's do it. That would make Croix a less sinister, right? We actually see Croix tricking her best friend into like murdering people's magic souls. So it's like this is really twisted, right? Like it's actually really fucking twisting about it. Like that thing, like it's tricking her best friend to doing that for her. That is crazy. So I think Croix definitely. She was like 6 out of 10 levels for me, a little more than mid-level. Now she's like 9 out of 10. Actually, she jumped really high, I felt, the episode actually in the pure evil scale. So that is sick. However, though, I did really like this flashback because it also showed that Chariot did use it on purpose. And I felt that when I watched it, I was like, is Chariot gonna use it again then? Like, did she accidentally, because she didn't know, get like Diana and Akko's magic souls? Because that would be more, very redeeming for her, right? Because I'm about like they're gonna forgive her. That's gonna be the last words. Like that would actually be kind of easy, so to speak, to forgive her then if it's not by accident. But no, see, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. She actually fell for the peer pressure, and she used it again. And I think it wasn't done clearly, but I have to assume that the time where she's blasting the moon is the same time that she from both Akko and Diana's memory, right? Because they see her as taking their souls and like sending it to the moon, and of course they talked about memory last week, so it's like, yeah, there has to be that particular scene when she gets the gigantic like bow of magic and blast the moon, like typical like kind of scene from Dragon Ball, right? Like doing that thing, and I was like, wow, this is almost like she's almost destroying the moon there, just from like oh, why don't you love me, and like going crazy there, and that has to be the same point, right? Because that would make sense if that's that would act like it. In their vision, she's like, yeah, butterflies and spirits and centaurs flying to the moon, but actually like shooting the moon because she was pissed off or something. Actually, I think they actually made it the worst with Chariot, right? Because not only did she actually know what she was doing, she just got pissed off at everyone. She also like kind of wasted. It's actually really horrible, right? Because she actually kind of wasted Akko's magic soul to like blast the moon. Like she didn't even take it for herself or to fight some demons or whatever. She's like, oh, I'm just gonna shoot the moon. I guess it's a little unclear, but I don't think so. It has to be that scene. I almost feel there's a little. I think again, I know I'm repetitive, but I think it was actually a little hard because the ground floor they were standing wasn't the same as the Akko's memory. But I have a hard time imagining she doing another show after that when she still taking people's power. Like she did it, several times without knowing it. But I don't think that was with Akko and Diana, and then we see that when she blessed the moon, that has to be the last time. I can't imagine her doing it again after the moon. Even Crow was like, okay, that's too much, honey. Like, stop it, crazy woman, like that. Even she was like trying to stop her there. So, and now obviously, and also they would explain it because that scene then with her, she was like really, extracting the magic. That's why Akko is really, can't fly and so because she was got her soul. Completely, it also would make sense because that would be obviously the most regrettable part in Ursula's life, and why she would be so sad about Akko actually being at her like final show, and not just a general fan, but actually being at that show where she blasted the moon, right? So, but I have to say that it's a little, it has to be like that, but it was a little unclear because I think some of the scenes that she kind of showed the floor she was standing on, and didn't look the same at all because in Akko and their memory, they kind of on a hill, right? Like they're going a slope down, but it looked more like flat, so it looked like the same, even the same place, and also there's more people I feel in Akko and Diana's memory, and in actual memory there was less people. So, but it has to be the situation now. But in fact, that was it's weird to me. That I mean, I have to assume in the same place, but it was kind of like they also changed the complete landscape memories. That seems strange. Okay, they changed the memory of what actually happened, but would they also implement? Okay, not only did we not blast the moon, we also was on a hill and there were like 20 more people. I was like, oh, I guess if you can, like, I'm popular, so like, yeah, you remember? It's like 10 times more people here. I don't know. It felt a little weird, but I have to assume the same place, right? So. But still, it feels like it's definitely boy. That being said, though, you have to be pissed off with Chariot. I am slightly pissed off. I like the backstory, but also like how it's like so shallow, right? She's like, oh, I'm doing this magic, everyone loves me. She gets like a manager, and they go on like tour, and then she gets like hate mail commentary on internet. She's like, oh my god, people are calling me a noob. Oh, I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna blast the moon. It was kind of like that, right? Like she's doing this thing, where she's like reading on the internet every time, and people are commenting on her show. It's like, they're calling me a loser again. They're calling me fat, even though I have pretty thin. I'm gonna show. That was like doing this like summoning a rabbit. People like, oh, it's boring. And she ending up in series, she's like standing there and it's like black and white, like flying around and right. And it's kind of nice, but it also feels like an internet thing. It's like, you know, words kind. They show light, but that kind of feel like the web, right? And she's like, oh, I'm gonna show you people. You call me a loser? Oh, look at the moon today. It was kind of like that. I was like, man, she broke Akko's and Diana's like magic, but some other people's magic, and like broke her heart is the one, of course, now because she was internet bullied. It's like, you know, internet hate on internet. It's like, come on, it's almost like that. I was like, wow. No wonder she is regretting this, because that was super shallow. How she was like, I'm losing it. It obviously no pressure, so I know, but it's like, wow, that is like, oh man. Really happy to happen. I think they didn't forgive her in the end. That's gonna be the story, but still, it's kind of like, whoa, she lost to internet pressure. I mean, obviously, people are like, she was sitting there and they're like losing patience and so on her. But of course, one issue that was is pretty wrong is because obviously Diana and Akko were like, yay, Shiny Chariot! So they were super happy, right? But she saw like the grown-ups and so on. They were like, yeah, whatever, magic. I'm playing my iPhone game here. And she's like, no, look at my magic, it's awesome, right? So I think that's a big thing too, that she got very fast on that, right? People using technology and so on instead of using that. We her biggest, her true fans like Akko and Diana, they were probably super excited about her, you know, regardless, right? And she heard them, so it's quite dark, right? But I think the story was, as I mentioned earlier, I think it was really good that they actually went from that, okay, so they were tricked by Croix, which was a great thing here, also made Croix, as I say again, really evil, but also then that she actually said, okay, Croix tricked me, but I'm fucking gonna use it anyway because I'm tired of people, you know, looking down on me. So that was interesting as well, she actually made it, she was like purposely doing some evil as well there, so that made her character, you know, more complex, I would say, like, and also more evil, of course. But I mean, generally, it was good. That being said, though, I think Chariot as a kid was super cute. She be Chariot in the beginning. Oh, that was cute. She's dancing around like some butterflies. Like, yeah, look at me. And then she's like, tried to do magic at the school. Everyone is like, oh, she's shit, right? She's like Akko, is like failing in everything, but she's like super happy anyway. And Croix is like, you can do it. I believe in you. It's like, you really? Yeah, I believe in you, my best friend, and so on. So yeah, and obviously Croix. I really like her design actually, because she has to kind of like sit eating ramen, you know, looking like a super hikamori nerd, right? She has this like a neat, she looks like a neat, right? She has to kind of going for her. And this episode where she's like a teenager or so what, when she's a little older than in the beginning of the last like, she has this like, you know, sweater on her, doing kind of douchebag walk, and like, nah, what do you want, bitch? She has a kind of that kind of attitude, right? Kind of clothing. As a kind of, you know, like 50-year-old boy that's like, yeah, shut up, mom. Like, she has the kind of attitude, right? I really liked it. I was like, yeah, that is Croix. she's just kind of like, really like, yeah, living in his mother's basement, down in the welfare, trying to control the world with magic and emotion. It's like, yes, that is Croix. That is Croix for me. So I think they kind of perfectly fit into that. They did do a lot of good Ursula of Shiny Chariot. She's like in her kind of weird wardrobe, but it's like depressed and looking at the internet, like, oh, people hate me. It was like, oh my, come on. Little shadow there. Anyway, that's the first half of it. The second half, I felt was a little weaker in the beginning there. I have to say that. Nitpicking though. That's a person 10 times for me, 9 out of 10. Because I felt that even though it's not nice seeing all Akko's friends, I love the detail on Amanda doing this kind of dude sitting, spreading her legs up like that. So and she's like, yeah, and sitting up, she's like super masculine as always. That's so perfect. Amanda was a boy, right? Because she's like super masculine as always. So that was great and so on. But generally, there's a little too much time, right? We see every character have like a few scenes for the searching for her, and of course to build up her Diana finding her. And as I always say, like Diana's gonna be the one of course to find her because she's the one who truly has Akko. And of course, as I said for months now, or this 1 month, that obviously Diana's gonna give her card, the last premium super deluxe 3DLC card to Akko, and she did that of course. So that was great. That was really, really great. And that's the. But I just want to mention that I do feel the scene before that was a little too long, and that's probably the only real weakness in this episode. That it spent a little too much on like everyone, like, oh, where's Akko? And Diana going to Ursula. It's a pretty good scene actually, where generally I think it's a good scene, but I felt a little too long as well, right? Because it was like she's going there, she's like, fuck you, Ursula, you're giving up on Akko. I won't give up on my best friend. I love her. You don't love her anymore. I'm gonna go out here. That was great, but like. That could have been a little more, I think, dense, right? And especially in the whole scenery there, because it's like that thing into after Lotte and Susie, into Susie again, into Amanda, like there's a little too much, that's like random dialogue. It doesn't really mean anything. I mean, it's kind of nice and cute to see it. Like, hey, Nakama, but it's a little too much, I think. They could have been half or so. That's probably the only thing that I felt like this is here the padding a little bit. It's very nitpicky, but that's probably the only weak part of the episode. But of course, it ended up with Diana finding Akko, and then I was really depressed. And when I rewatched this anime for the review, I was almost crying. To be honest, it's hard to talk about it, because for me that is very depressing. The whole scene there, like I feel for Akko, and it's like sitting there in the snow, and you see her just like being completely dead inside, and she's like getting snow on her body and like her face and like the hair is like snow. She's like, whatever, I'm just gonna freeze to death today. Like, yeah, and it's super sad. Then of course we see them at the shop and they're talking, and they try to motivate them so on. In the beginning, it's like they do it so good in this anime. Like we see her reflection in the hot chocolate reflection, and then we see her like sad face, and then her sad face she gets the road again and so on. You also see some sad Diana when she's like getting bullied by her family and she gets that card. Her mother, of course, likes her, but her auntie and the other ones like loser, so like, and then she has no friends there, and she's like the banquets and so on, right? But then in the end, we do see it's getting happy again. Right? We do see in the end that she's getting happy again. We see it like, okay, yeah, I can finally use my magic again. I can transform this squirrel into a rabbit, right? I think yes, like a white rabbit, and she just around. She's happy, and I like that because it was very similar to the first minute episode, right? When we see Shiny Chariot. So that's a great way. This element is really well produced, I think, because that scene, even the body movement, the kind of the scenery, like on grass field, like it's very similar, right? So they kind of do this, like this effect of like, yeah, you can see how that thing also makes it the worst, right? Because whose fault was it that Diana couldn't make? Well, it was totally the girl, right? So yeah, so that it's really well done, right? Because not only does that scene kind of remind you of the earlier scene, right? So you can see the similarity between Chariot and Diana, of course, also loves Chariot. But also remember that little girl in the first scene is super happy that she can throw like butterflies and so on, right? And then she gets addicted to being famous. She's the one that robbed the other little girl from being able to use magic. So that is like a thing there that's like a twisted, sinister feel to it, right? In one way, like they're copying the same thing, but it's always kind of sad in a way, right? More than happy. Like she's happy because we see it from her perspective, but from our perspective, knowing the truth, it's kind of like, oh, that happened. That's kind of a ruse, or yeah, right. So I think on a really good scene. I mean, especially in comparison to other, how the whole episode works, right? So again, like last week, when you go from happy to sad so easily, so quickly, and so twisted, right? It's really good detail there. Anyway, I think that it's very interesting, of course, because it means that Diana is like, I could believe, because I believe in myself, I believe in the heart of magic. If I could learn magic again, you can. And it was kind of like also, I expected it to also be like, well, my mother taught me this thing, or we have this secret Cavaliers thing, and they kind of mentioned a little there, but then it's like, no, I just believed in myself, woohoo, magic, and I was like, my heart is strong or something, you know, and at the end it's just like, you just don't lose faith, you just have high willpower, and you will be fine, Akko. It was like, really? Like, yes, here's my card, let's go, honey. It was like a little weird how they like, the kind of like grossed over, like, no, there is no secret, like, family magic or this ancient, like, no, it's just like believing yourself, classic, like, you know, classic trigger. No. Your heart is magic. That's the only thing you need to know. You will be able to fly if you believe you can fly, right? You have to really believe in it. Like that's the giveaway from the end there. But still, I felt that was a really heartwarming. It was depressing and heartwarming at the same time. And then of course, you see everyone else getting in there at the end and hugging her and crying and so on. So yeah, it's really nice, and of course, it kind of builds up for the final. And then we see the last scene. I was like, man, this gives me so much of a Star Wars vibe. You see them walking in on that bridge, right? And it's like this, they have this the evil whatever power quite using like electricity flying around in the sky, right? I understand. It's kind of like that, and they're on the suspension bridge, right? Then it's like a weird bridge inside this like huge room. Yeah, you know, like, you know, Star Wars. Like it's definitely feel like a Star Wars like vibe of Star Wars. Like really does, right? And like even the college team, it's just like unfinished business, bitch, right? And it's like you get the hair, you're getting red, like I'm gonna kill you for what you've done, right? Pretty much. And there it ends. And it's like, yeah, that is such a classic, like, I find my arch rival / best friend on this bridge to fight her. It's like, yeah, but like very classic, right? Because like this is my rival and best friend, and she tricked me like 20 years ago. Now it's time for revenge. Yeah, and it's like, no, I hate you and so on. So the ending on that. So I guess they're gonna fight. But as I predicted, and I'm not sure I'm right about it anymore, so this last pointer, I do feel like they're gonna finish off Croix in next episode, maybe 2 episodes from there. It was 2 episodes left, and they're gonna finish off Croix, I think. Ursula obviously gonna lose because she never beat the Croix, but Ursula's gonna lose. Akko is gonna forgive her, I think, get the last word. They're gonna fight Croix, but Croix is gonna release, you know, like an evil Triskelon, the Satan or something. She's gonna release something big, right? And that's gonna, and it feels like that to me. Maybe I'll play too much fantasy games in 15, but like it feels to me like you're gonna summon something really evil, right? That's gonna be like the end of next episode. Then Akko and everyone else, of course, Diana is gonna help her, but Akko primarily is gonna beat this thing in the last week. It just feels like that, yeah. Like Croix isn't the last evil. It doesn't feel that. That's a prediction. I think Croix is gonna be, you know, this like, yeah, she's evil. Akko probably beat her, and maybe Akko ends together, but probably Akko alone, or whatever, Diana and so on. But like, yeah, I think that, and then like. But something else is gonna happen, right? Like that road she's making is gonna become something evil herself, control, something like that. It's gonna be something else, right? They have to defeat the thing in the last episode. That feels like that a lot to me. Anyway, another really good episode. Somewhat depressing, somewhat funny. This anime is really good at doing that to me. We got some laughing a lot too, like, wow, this feels super depressing. Anyway, see you guys next week and have a great day.